Elon Musk is the talk of the nation today. He's certainly the talk of X, but more than X because of his kind of, well, I'm going to call them sparkling comments in a public conversation with a guy named Aaron Sorkin. And Sorkin was, I think this guy is your typical kind of media entertainment dullard, and he's like, well, and is it true that the advertisers are mobilizing against you? And he's sort of expecting Elon Musk to get into this tedious, well, the advertisers are mistaken and the percentage of hate on Elon doesn't even go there. He basically goes, well, don't advertise. And then he uses the F word. F you. And in fact, he uses it by name. They're talking about Bob Iger, who is the CEO of Disney. And he goes, Bob, if you're in the audience, F you. This is Elon Musk. And Elon Musk is really making the point that in the end, it's the market that decides. You want to try to boycott X? Well, in a sense, think about it. That also means you can't advertise on X. And Disney's not exactly flourishing as a company. People are sick of this perverted operation called Disney. I mean, one time Disney used to be Americana, innocence, inspiration. Now it's the creep on the street that your parents tell you to stay away from. So I saw a whole train of people on X. They're like, canceling Disney Plus, not seeing any more Disney movies. I'm done with Disney. So now what has happened, because of the fact that X is so much more open to free speech, a free speech lobby is emerging on X.
Yeah.
And that's, I think, very important.
Yeah, but so Elon is so funny because he also is kind of subscribing to the same Malay style. Malay,
Javier
Milei, viva la libertad, carajo. I mean, that's a kind of, he's cursing there, know? And he calls not liberals in the liberal sense, classical liberals, but he calls the left idiots and
SHIT,
and he tells them to F off and all of this stuff, that is it was not done before.
It was not done. Trump does a little bit of it.
But I don't think Trump has been dropping the F bomb.
No.
In the minute he starts.
And there are others who are in the same mode who don't do it. Like Giorgia Meloni doesn't do it.
Right.
And of course, even Geert Wilders in the Netherlands is a very urbane guy with his kind of coiffed up hair and kind of speaks in a clipped way. But this is now becoming a kind of.
I also think that it's just that they're fed up.
They're fed up. Yeah.
And that. Because, as you know, I'm very straight-laced, but even I used the F word one time, remember?
Well, you did one time, and you were fed up. Some guy was screaming at me at an event. It was the University of Michigan or Michigan State?
Michigan State, yeah. They tried to shut you down, and it was being live-streamed.
And I see all kinds of straight-laced people on X, who never with themselves use that kind of language, but they're cheering Elon Musk.
I don't know what happened I just let my blood boil or something. I don't know, and I literally did it, and then I regretted it immediately, of course. But I caught up into that oh, you can't do this, kind of mentality. And I'm sure these guys who are not straight-laced have no hesitancy in doing that. So that's I think what we're seeing. We're seeing that phenomenon of
this is the extreme, not only bravery, but in some ways. This is Elon Musk using his influence, and that's a term I've used on the podcast. So many people do not use their influence because they're a little afraid. And Elon Musk is like, I have the money, I have the power, and I have a weapon. I have a platform. It's a huge platform. It is, in fact, the only platform where anything interesting is going on. What's going on YouTube? It's brain dead over there. What's going on Facebook? It's brain dead over there. Yeah, if you want to find your college friend and, meet up for sangria, you can do it on Facebook or through Facebook. But X is a platform that's bristling with electricity. And in some ways, Elon Musk has now come to symbolize that.
Yeah, but the reason for the attack on Elon Musk is because of the fact that the left made up that he was an anti-Semite, right?
Right.
And the really interesting thing is I subscribe to this publication in Israel called Haaretz. Haaretz.
A left-wing, Israeli publication, very anti-Netanyahu.
Oh,
In fact, when you look at it, you realize the echoes between the American left,
absolutely,
the European left.
And so what caught my eye was this opinion article, why Netanyahu loves anti-Semites like Elon Musk so much. And I thought, what? What in the
start
world?
With the premise, right?
Yeah.
In fact, I said yesterday on the podcast that Elon Musk's presence in Israel, he's meeting Netanyahu, he's meeting with rabbis, he's meeting with Israeli leaders, does a lot symbolically to diffuse the idea or to diffuse any false impression that he might be an anti-Semite. But here's Haaretz digging in and going with it's almost like these guys get the memo. Mm-hmm. This is the narrative. Mm-hmm. Preposterous though it may be, I'm sure there are people at Haaretz who know Elon Musk is not an anti-Semite.
Right.
But they don't mind the smear because they're anti-Elon Musk.
Yeah, and they hate Netanyahu. And it says,
they hate Netanyahu.
One by one, Netanyahu and his courtiers have reached out to some of the world's most prominent Jew haters, offering them absolution for their sins and Israel's official license to carry on. By taking Musk to the scene of the Hamas massacres, he's also expropriating Jewish suffering to whitewash his anti-Semitism and his promotion of other anti-Semites on his website.
Let's start with the underlying premise. I mean, I guess some of this goes back to something that Elon Musk retweeted. And again, we have to realize on social media, I mean, I know this is true of me also. We often see something, it seems interesting. I want my audience to be exposed to it. I may not even really agree with it, but I'm like, that's an interesting take. So I hit retweet, right? It's not my way of saying I endorse this article.
Right.
It is merely it's a mere like, guys, check this out. This is something I think you might find interesting for whatever reason.
Yeah. Well, this is so interesting. Let's talk about it in the next segment.
Pick it up, yes. Debbie and I on a really good health journey, but we still struggle to eat enough fruits, veggies, and fiber. And guess what? We got to do it. Now, lucky for us, we discovered Balance of Nature. What better way to get all your fruits and veggies plus fiber than with Balance of Nature? This is Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies in a capsule, easy to take, made from fresh whole produce. The produce is powdered after an advanced vacuum cold process, which stabilizes the maximum nutrient content. And this is Balance of Nature's Fiber and Spice, a proprietary blend of fiber and 12 spices for overall and digestive health. Join Debbie and me. Start your journey to better health right now. Call 800-246-8751 or go to balanceofnature.com. You get 35% off your first preferred order by using discount code America. Again, it's balanceofnature.com or call 800-246-8751. Get 35% off your first preferred order by using discount code America.